Hello everybody. Today I worked together with my dad, finishing up some last rivets from the firewall, which I couldn't do by myself. And we started on the second bulkhead, which is the main bulkhead, which attaches the wings with the spars to the rest of the plane. From the previous video you can see that I back riveted the firewall myself. There were a few rivets which I showed I couldn't do because it wasn't possible with back riveting. So I fixed those now when my dad joined. They're just let's say 8 rivets that were just too close, and there were 2 nut plates that needed to be attached, which I screwed up by the way, so that's why we had to drill them out again. Actually, it was not the firewall that we worked on today, except for this part. We are starting with the the recess. So we also did the recess, which is a small part, and there were some few rivets, which I actually turned out I could do myself because I could catch them with a squeezer. Okay, we start with the main bulkhead. It's a new part. It turns out that if you look into the plans, that there are a lot of bulkheads in the fuselage. And the trick is you have to build all the bulkheads, and when you've done that, then you can attach them with the skins. So this is the main bulkhead. With the main bulkhead, it's meant these parts were actually in the wing set, so they were not in the fuselage kit, and that's because they are actually drilled together with the wings. So they should be a very tight fit, and that's why they're in the wing set. But the drawings are in the fuselage kit, so we start working on it now. There need to be some bushings being drilled in there, which are quite big holes. So before I start drilling big holes, I always check several times the drawings, because if you screwed it up, it will be really bad, because I don't think you can actually replace this, because it was what I said earlier, right? Drilled with the wings, so that will be really an issue. So there's not a place to fuck it up. So what you do is you add the doublers, and then you put in the bolts, the big bolts, which hold the wings later. Yeah, and then you drill the holes. You use uni-bits for that, which are kind of sawing holes. You can see that here, right? Really big holes, man. The holes are actually for rudder cables and for electricity. So it looks like I'm doing it twice, everything, and that's the case because there is a forward and a aft bulkhead part. So you see me sometimes switching it, and that's actually switching between forward and aft. So this is the aft one, which there's not much riveting actually. It's more like fitting stuff together and see what should be connected. So I didn't rivet it much today, but it's mostly just looking at how everything should work. Also the drilling, you could use the air drill for that, but somehow I like the electric hand drill. It works really good. As you can see, a lot of drilling, and that's also you have to be careful there. Again, if you fuck this part up, you're probably in deep shit. So I'm going to build several bulkheads. This week I went to a fellow builder here in the Netherlands, and he already had several bulkheads built. So I see now what the way to do it is. So you build all the bulkheads, and then you connect them together with the longerons and the skins. That's interesting. We have to. This is actually where the control sticks are mounted, and here I forgot actually to turn the camera. It's not so smart. And you have to trim some material from it away. That's not very easy because it's very thick material, as you can see. It's also on the workbench, the aluminum color bracket. So yeah, you can see it. I use a jigsaw for that because I don't have a bandsaw. Every time I'm thinking maybe I should buy a bandsaw, and every time when I just either use the handsaw or the jigsaw, it always works great. So I think, nah, probably not. The only thing I figured out actually this time is that I had a wood saw in my jigsaw, so that's really stupid. I thought the teeth were very close, so I thought it was metal, but that was wrong. It was for a very typical wood. So I actually bought new saws for the jigsaw, which are actually metal saws. So next time it should be better. Right. This is the aft part again, and there are some stiffeners which are needed to attach a front panel. Oh yeah, here we are attaching actually the control hinges, and you have to check that with the actual controls. So that's nice. You can already see that's yeah, what it will become. Also, I'm really puzzled by how small the plane is. I mean, how it's not very wide. Okay, now we have to countersink all the top holes, because there should be nut plates in there, and the nut plates should be riveted flush, because I think there's probably plating coming on top of this. It's probably the floor, or I guess, I'm not sure actually. So here are the nut plates, a lot of nut plates, probably for attaching the floor, I guess. Well, at least I got some rivets done. Same for the forward, or no, actually this is the aft side. There was a forward earlier. So all the top nut plates are in place now. It's probably a floorboard that you should be able to remove to get to the controls. And this is a cover board. They were talking about a cover board, so that's probably, again, there are nut plates in there, so it's probably to attach plating again. You have to create some stiffeners just from raw material. Again, countersinking for the nut plates, which need to be again attached to it flush, riveted flush. And there are a lot of holes to be drilled for, again, bushings, cables, electrical cables, fuel tubing. Yeah, a lot of drilling in this episode. You have to make two of the stiffeners just from regular aluminum angle, and they have to be perfect fits, so that worked out great. We're still on the same page, as you can see in the manual. So what you will see is that, especially in the fuselage kit, that the plan is very, how do you say that, condensed. It's only one page, and you're working the whole day on just even half a page, and one or several drawings. So with the empennage you only had, let's say, one drawing and 5 pages. Now it's the other way around. Now you only have half a page and 2 drawings. And you have to do most of the stuff yourself. Well, that's it. Most of the stuff is done now. I have to prime the, just a very few parts, because there's not much, let's say, non-anodized aluminum. So, have to prime that, and then we can rivet it together. Probably can do it myself. And next time I will start with the second bulkhead. Continuing building my pie in the sky.